Your favorite man met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and he was asked a rather pointed question about whether some of the xenophobic tone coming from his administration was leading to the rise of anti-Semitism. And this was that man's response. Take a look.
We are, very honored by the victory that we had, 306 electoral college votes. We were not supposed to crack 220. You know that, right? There was no way to 221, but then they said there's no way to 270. As far as people, Jewish people, so many friends, a daughter who happens to be here right now, a son-in-law, and 3 beautiful grandchildren. I think that you're going to see a lot different United States of America over the next 3, 4, or 8 years.
God help us. So just because his family is Jewish, that means anti-Semitism will disappear?
I don't know.
He didn't answer like a certifiable. He's like certifiable. Like it was such a crazy, it was like this crazy response. I was like, audience, the Prime Minister is standing right here. Yeah. I actually didn't understand.
He can't say the word Jew. It's like
But he didn't even answer. He didn't answer the question about anti-Semitism. It was a very easy question to answer. I mean, you can answer that in 140 characters on Twitter.
Just say I have zero tolerance for anti-Semitism, and my administration will follow protocol to make sure that that doesn't happen.
Don't you think Netanyahu was thinking, what a moronic Gentile this is?
Netanyahu deals with, and he turns to him and he goes, "Did you know that they didn't think I'd make it?" I'm like, that guy has better things to do with his life than worry about your electoral.
It's an embarrassment. That was an embarrassment.
It's so humiliating to be represented by this guy.
For me, though, like, that's how he won the election. He's still in campaign mode. To me, that sounded like a guy trying to win an election.
No, he talks on a 5th grade level. That's how he won the election.
No, this is how he won. He pivots. That's what you do. You know, when you're in a campaign, you pivot. Somebody asks you a question, you don't know the answer, you don't know what to say, you pivot.
But that's
not what a president
it's always
does, though.
about
A president has to answer the question.
Well,
by the way, he did
Bannon the question.
He would have had an
Bannon would have had an answer. That's why, to me, he's the real president.
He would have had an answer.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. No, it is
Just saying.
It was bizarre.
But he also would have had to admit that his rhetoric has increased the anti-Semitism in the country. And that's why he didn't answer that question, because the question was, do you think that some of what your rhetoric has done is put this name it, gay people, Jewish people, everything. Do you think you're responsible for some of
But
it?
the fact that he doesn't disavow the Ku Klux Klan tells you right there how he is approaching this topic.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
Last week.
What did he say?
Last week.
He did find
At one
He was
point,
like,
it was like,
I don't like the
Duke. Who's David Duke?
I don't actually think, and I think I've spoken with Jed about this, I don't actually think he is anti-Semitic. The problem here is all of his rhetoric, which we have not heard him speak about, he will not come out ever. And it doesn't need to be an apology, which he says, I think there's a psychology of refusing that, All he has to say is, I truly am here for all of you. Like one statement.
All you need for evil to flourish is for good men to be silent.
Yeah.
And that's what he is. Maybe a good guy, not speaking.
Well, maybe we should send that on some sweatshirts to Congress and the Senate.
Right.
Because all
They
of the
are also
folks
in
in charge, all of you guys who worked so hard to get your foot forward, all you nice Republicans, this is on you. This is on your watch. First, it was the you-know-who brand that was facing a ban and a boycott. And now it's members of his team. MSNBC's Morning Joe says they will no longer book Trump spokeswoman Kellyanne Conway. Should the media be banning or silencing these people? Are they suppressing free speech, or is there such a thing anymore?
Well, Mika Brzezinski's reasoning, I quote her, every time I've seen her on television, something's askew, off, or incorrect. And yet they bring Sean Spicer there, who also is incorrect, askew. Trump goes on there. He's also incorrect, askew. Why they pick on Kellyanne? Well, she's not any worse than the rest of them.
I think they feel like she's not a good representative of the administration, and I think that's what I think that
the administration isn't a good representative.
That may be true.
surprised nobody grabbed Steve. To be honest, I'm surprised Bannon's not been brought on yet.
But I submit to that Kellyanne is the reason that he won. Because 2 weeks before the election, she said to him, act presidential and fool everybody. And that's what he did.
She certainly normalized him. But, you know, I'm always troubled by not having a seat at the table. Like, I struggle with this because if you don't have a seat at the table, you can't pick the menu. You can't pick what you're eating. And so if you're not going to meet with the president, if you're not going to have a dialogue with Kellyanne Conway, then you're in the dark. Like, I just don't know what's the right thing to do.
My take on it, she's not at the table. Right. They're saying that they're not bringing her in because they don't feel she's in these meetings.
She's his special advisor.
She's making a lot of mistakes,
Why would you not sit with her?
Well, right before Michael Flynn, right before Michael Flynn resigned, an hour before, she came on the air saying he has the full support of the president.
Right.
That was an hour
Which is
before he
probably
resigned.
what he told her.
But I think that's the
Then an hour
problem.
later, he changed his mind.
I think they're saying, though, they're not going to have a representative from the administration. I think they're saying maybe this isn't the best person to have on because she's been proven to not be credible in her reporting. So why are we interviewing someone that's making these mistakes and not giving us accurate information?
She is representing the president, and I think, like Whoopi said, it is probably likely that he tells her these things, and she is in his inner circle.
You know what's funny about this is whenever we hear folks who come out and speak for the administration, be it Condoleezza Rice or Colin Powell or Mrs. Clinton, you know, folks always are like, hey, well, you know, you said it was this. You said it was that. So we hold people to a very high standard when they are just giving you the information that they are getting. And banning her or banning anyone, in a way, I agree with you. But what I'm trying to figure out is, you know, you see Sean Spicer talking to people, but he only speaks to Breitbart, as I said earlier, Breitbart and Fox News. So I wonder why we continue to give them the space to do stuff like that.
Well, something interesting happened this week because Bill Maher had booked a Breitbart editor, Milo Yiannopoulos, very controversial right-wing guy, and Jeremy Scahill, who's the co-founder of The Intercept, was booked on that show and basically came out and said, I'm declining. I'm not coming because I believe that it's inappropriate, and I'm paraphrasing, that you're giving a platform to this guy. And Bill Maher responded and disagreed and defended his decision and said, if Mr. Yiannopoulos is indeed the monster Scahill claims, and he might be, nothing could serve the liberal cause better than having him exposed on Friday night. I agree 100%. I agree 100%.
I remember Steve Harvey, who I know, Steve Harvey met with President Trump. Huge backlash for it. And his response was, you need to have a seat at the table. And I think there's something to that open dialogue.
Also, Bill Maher is an entertainer, and he knows conflict really brings in eyeballs. And believe me, he will eviscerate this Yiannopoulos. He is so brilliant, Bill Maher, and this guy's an idiot.
That's how you change minds, though. When I took this job, I remember when I took this job, I got so much heat from Fox News people, from right-wing people saying, you're going to go, you're going to be talking to, you know, that's liberal media, you're going to be talking to a liberal audience. And I said, you know what? If I have the power at this table to convince one person who's watching at home or change one heart or mind or show people that you can have a conversation, then I've done my job. And that's what people need to do.
This show has been doing that for 20 years. This show has been doing that for 20 years. And, you know, folks at Fox, you know, when you only have one thing that you talk about, we talk about everything.
We do.
We talk about everything, everybody, and we try to be fair. We get heated sometimes. We're never nasty to each other. We do our jobs because we actually do a little bit of our homework, you know, unlike a lot of folks on Fox, you know. I'm just saying, I watch y'all too.